Everybody. So this year I'm excited because I'm trying to read a lot more. I already read a lot. Like I read like 12 books last year, which doesn't really seem like a lot because that's like a book a month. But but I want to get back really to my old self. I used to read all the time. When I was a teenager, I would just pick up books and crank through them pretty quickly. So I'm trying to get back to that, and I'm really looking forward to doing that. So I decided to start doing some book reviews. So this is the first book review of 2022. And so I have a pile of books that's next to my bed, and I'm like going to try and get through that pile. It's like 13 books. But there's a lot of other books that I am going to read throughout the year, I'm sure. And I'm really looking forward to hearing everybody's suggestions on books. I've already seen some that a lot of my friends were posting about what they read last year, so I've added those to my list for later in the year to read. And I'm just really looking forward to this new section of literature and education for myself, because for me, reading just kind of keeps my brain functional and allows me to explore things. And I'm in a book club, as a lot of people know, and so that has like opened my horizons to some other genres, and we've read some pretty good books in that club, and so we're going to keep reading those. So I'm really looking forward to that part of it. So my first book review of 2022 is I read the book called Sisters in Arms by Kaia Alderson. She is a Black author, which was really, really awesome. And it is about the story of the 688 in World War II, which is one of my favorite time periods. And so in the story, you've got two main characters, Grace and Eliza, and they are coming from two different areas of Harlem in the 40s, and they're trying to figure out what to do with their lives. And because of some different circumstances and some issues that they have, both with their own families and their personal lives, they decide to enlist in the WAC, which was the Women's Auxiliary for the Army. And so they both go down and they enlist, and it follows them as they go through training and go through their first kind of positions that they work in, their first orders, and then eventually all the way to Europe, because they were one of the few groups that was all Black and actually went to Europe. They didn't really see any combat, historically speaking, but they did have a lot of purpose in their orders when they first went. The characters are fictional characters, but you do cross with a few real characters, like Major Charity Adams, who is my new favorite historic person. She is a powerhouse, and I did a little bit of research on her. I really, really love her, and there's also some other characters that pop up throughout the series and throughout the story. So that is a little bit about the book, and I just love this book. I thought it was so well written. It is a pretty quick read. I mean, in general, I tend to read things pretty fast. Like if I take longer than a week to read a book, I'm seriously not interested in the book, because it usually like my fastest read time is a day. And this book I actually probably would have gotten done in 2 days, because I started it like midway through a day, but I left it at work, so I had to wait until I could go back and get it. But it is a fantastic book. And I also just was really enjoying the fact that this book was written about a Black group in history by a Black author. I feel like we have a lot of books that are doing that, but it was really nice to see a fresh book, because it was written just, or well, at least it was published just last year. I don't know when it was written, but first publication was 2021. So it's a great book. I actually really kind of hope that I might get a chance to potentially use it in future classes as a novel read. I think it's that great. It was so good. Like I have absolutely no negatives about this book. And I also really hope that it becomes a Netflix series or a movie of some sort. Just really kind of looking forward to seeing if Hollywood does pick this story up, because I think it could be very much along the lines of the next Hidden Figures. It really has kind of that feel of Hidden Figures without a whole lot of extra white characters. That's the piece that does kind of worry me if Hollywood would pick this up, is that they would try and add characters who are white in more of like a positive spin, and there aren't any in the story. There are very few white characters to begin with, but there are super no white characters that like really have a positive anything for the story. So I'll be curious to see if Hollywood does pick it up, and I really hope they do. So that is the first book review of 2022. I'm looking forward to doing more of these videos, doing more reading, and hoping that I will be able to get some suggestions. So if you have suggestions, drop them in the comments, send me a message. Love those. And I hope that you are going to enjoy going on this journey with me. Bye.